Earthworms are commonly called friend of farmers. Friend of farmers because they are useful to the farmers in different ways. They make the soil loose while making burrows and thereby they increase aeration. Their worm castings increase the fertility of the soil. Number 3, while making burrows, they bring the subsoil out and thereby make the soil more fertile. Manure that is prepared by making use of earthworms is called vermicompost, and the vermi wash which is obtained from the vermicompost yards is used as foliar spray. So because of all these reasons, earthworms are referred to as friend of farmers. Preparing the vermicompost by making use of earthworms is called vermiculture. Now earthworm Phrytima postuma, which is most common type study in Annelida it has got about 100 to 120 segments In Phrytima postuma, the first segment is called peristomium, or it is also called buccal segment. Peristomium as the buccal segment is the first formed segment that lies at the antemost end, and it happens to be the oldest segment The peristomium gives rise to prostomium, a fleshy projection called prostomium. Prostomium is considered as a false segment because it does not originate from the growth zone pygidium and it doesn't contain viscera. The youngest segment is called preanal segment that lies before pygidium. And in Phrytima postuma, clitellum, which is also called cingulum, lies from 14th to 16th segments. It gives rise to ootheca or cocoon at the time of fertilization. Then the dorsal pores are mid-dorsally present, intersegmental. They are mid-dorsal and intersegmental, and they are present from 12 by 13th to last segment. They are present from 12 by 13th to last segment. First 11 segments they are absent. They are absent even in the clitellum also and the last segment So except first 11 segments, clitellum and last segment, in all other segments intersegmentally dorsal pores are present. The dorsal pores facilitate oozing out of coelomic fluid to keep the body well moist and to ensure respiration. Nephridiopores are present from third segment to last segment. Nephridiopores are present from third segment to last segment. Nephridiopores are the openings of integumentary nephridia or micronephridia. Female genital pore is single, lies in 14th segment. Female genital pore is single, lies midventrally in 14th segment. Male genital pores are paired and they are present in 18th segment. Male genital pores are paired, they are ventrolateral in 18th segment. Genital papillae are two pairs. They are present in 17th and 19th segments. Genital papillae are two pairs. They are present in 17th and 19th. They help in clasping the worms during copulation. The locomotory organs in Phrytima are setae. The setae are integral shaped RS-shaped structures deposited with chitin. Each setum has a swollen nodulus, anterior 1/3 neck, posterior 2/3 base. So they have got a swollen structure called nodulus, anterior 1/3 neck, posterior 2/3 base. And the setae are embedded in setigerous sacs. They are embedded in setigerous sacs. And they exhibit two methods of arrangement here now. In some earthworms, setae are evenly distributed around annulus. If the setae are evenly distributed around annulus, it is called perichetin arrangement. It is called perichetin arrangement. Evenly distributed around annulus, you call it perichetin arrangement. Perichetin arrangement is present in Pheretima, Megascolex, Dravida. Pheretima, Megascolex and Dravida, there is perichetin arrangement, and in some earthworms, setae are in the form of 4 pairs, 2 are laterally placed and 2 pairs are ventrally placed. This mode of arrangement is called octachetin arrangement. Octachetin arrangement or lumbricine arrangement. Octachetin arrangement or lumbricine arrangement, and this is present in Octochetus, Lumbricus and Eutyphus. Octochetus, Lumbricus and Eutyphus. The setae are absent in first segment, last segment and clitellum. Except these segments, in all other segments, setae are evenly distributed around annulus with perichetin arrangement in Pheretima, Dravida, Megascolex. Then the body cavity of earthworm, if you observe the body cavity first 3 segments, there are no septa. First septum lies between 4/5 segment. The septa of 4/5, 5/6, 6/7, 7/8, 9/10 are conical. In the 9th segment, there is no septum here now. So septa are absent in first 3 segment and 9th segment. Septa of 4/5, 5/6, 6/7, 7/8 and 8/9 are conical here now. And the septa of 4/5 to 13/14 are non-perforated. Septa of 4/5 to 13/14, that is first 9 segment septa, are non-perforated. Typical septum lies between 14th and 15th segment here now. Then the coelomic fluid of earthworm is alkaline. The coelomic fluid of earthworm is deposited with mucocytes, which are fan shaped. They secrete mucus. Then it is deposited with amoebocytes, which are phagocytic in function, deposited with circular cells, which are also supposed to be phagocytic in function, and chlorogogen cells. The chlorogogen cells originate from the visceral layer or splanchnic layer of the body cavity. They are star-shaped structures. Upon collecting nitrogenous waste from the coelomic fluid, they detach themselves from the body wall and fall into the body cavity. The cells that have fallen into the body cavity are called ileocytes. Now the ileocytes are now sent out through dorsal pores, or sometimes they are eaten away by phagocytic cells. These chlorogogen cells, apart from excretion, they also render more functions like removal of silicates from the food, distribution of digested food to the entire body, storage of glycogen and lipid granules. And owing to all these functions, chlorogogen cells are said to be analogous to liver of higher animals. Chlorogogen cells are also called yellow cells because the nitrogenous waste that are referred to as chlorosomes are yellowish in color and they deposited in chlorogogen cells. The nitrogenous waste are deposited in the form of yellowish granules called chlorogosomes. That's why the chlorogogen cells are also called yellow cells. The body wall of earthworm consists of outer cuticle. Cuticle is a thin layer deposited with mucopolysaccharides and chitin, that is collagen, gelatin and chitin. It is often shed off by molting process. Below cuticle there is an epidermis. Epidermis is also called hypodermis. The epidermis or hypodermis has columnar cells that form the bulk of the epidermis. Basal cells are present. They are the totipotent cells in earthworm. Then gland cells are present and receptors are present. So 4 kinds of cells are present. These gland cells in turn are divisible into 2 types: mucous gland cells and albumin gland cells. Mucous gland cells and albumin gland cells. Below epidermis there is dermis or basement membrane. Below that there is musculature. The musculature is divisible into outer circular muscles and inner longitudinal muscles. Outer circular muscles and inner longitudinal muscles. The innermost layer of the body wall is somatic layer or parietal layer, and that happens to be the outermost layer of coelom. The digestive system of earthworm, if you observe, the most important parts you find buccal cavity. The buccal cavity is present from first to middle of third segment. Buccal cavity is present from first to middle of third segment. It is a thin walled structure, acts as organ of ingestion. Buccal cavity is followed by pharynx. Pharynx is present from mid third segment to fourth segment. It is present from mid third segment to fourth segment. Pharynx acts as suction pump, and within the pharynx now there are salivary glands, which is called pharyngeal bulb. Pharyngeal bulb or pharyngeal mass lies on the mid-dorsal side of pharynx. It corresponds to the salivary gland of other vertebrates and invertebrates. And pharynx, it has got 2 horizontal shelves internally, which divide the pharynx into dorsal salivary chamber and ventral conducting chamber. Pharynx is followed by esophagus. Esophagus extends from 5th to 7th segment. Esophagus just helps in conduction of food, doesn't secrete any enzymes. Esophagus is followed by gizzard. Gizzard lies in 8th segment. Gizzard lies in 8th segment. It is highly muscular, made up of circular muscles, internally lined by chitinous cuticle, acts as a grinding mill. Now the gizzard is followed by stomach. Stomach lies from 9th segment to 14th segment. Stomach is present from 9th segment to 14th segment. It secretes proteolytic enzymes. Apart from that, it has got even calciferous glands. Calciferous glands secrete calcium ions to neutralize the acidic nature of humic acid. And there are 2 sphincters. One sphincter lies at the junction of the stomach and gizzard. The other sphincter lies at the junction of stomach and intestine. Then stomach is followed by intestine. Intestine is present from 15th segment to last segment. 15th segment to last segment. Intestine is divisible into 3 parts: pre-typhlosolar region. Pre-typhlosolar region is 15th to 26th segment. Then you have typhlosolar region. Typhlosolar region lies from anterior 27th to last 23 or 25 segment. Last 23 or 23rd or 25th segment is the typhlosolar region. Typhlosolar region has a typhlosole that enhances the rate of absorption of food. Then you have next post-typhlosolar region. is present lies in last 23 or 25 segments. Lies in last 23 or 25 segments. Okay, then apart from this, a pair of intestinal CK arise in 26th segment. Intestinal CK are given off from intestine in 26th segment. They are forwardly directed. They secrete amylase to bring about digestion of carbohydrates. Then earthworm is a detritivore. It is a detritivore. It feeds on the food which is abundant in humic acid. The blood vascular system of Phyretima, I shall repeat once again. So the previous one has to be deleted. I shall repeat the blood vascular system of Phyretima. The blood vascular system of Phyretima here now. It is a closed type with hemoglobin dissolved in blood plasma. It has got longitudinal blood vessels and transverse blood vessels. The most important longitudinal blood vessels are dorsal blood vessel. The dorsal blood vessel acts as collecting vessel behind 13th segment, distributing vessel before 13th. It is a collecting vessel behind 13th and distributing vessel before 13th. It is thick walled muscular valvular structure. The next is the ventral blood vessel. Ventral blood vessel, unlike dorsal blood vessel, is thin walled, non-valvular, non-contractile, non-muscular structure. In dorsal blood vessel, the mode of circulation of blood is from posterior part of the body to anterior, while in ventral blood vessel it is from anterior to posterior. The ventral blood vessel acts as a chief distributing vessel. It acts as a chief distributing vessel. Then you have next one is subneural vessel. Subneural vessel is thin walled, non-contractile, non-valvular. It lies only in the posterior part of the earthworm, that is from anterior 13th segment to the last segment. It is also a chief distributing vessel here now, thin walled, muscular, non-valvular, non-contractile vessel. The next you have lateral esophageals. The lateral esophageals are present in the anterior region. They are present from first segment to 13th segment. They are formed by branching of subneural in 13th segment. They are also thin walled, non-valvular, non-contractile vessels. They act as chief collecting vessels. Then next you have supraesophageal vessel. Supraesophageal is the shortest longitudinal blood vessel in Phyretima. It lies from 9th to 13th segment. It collects blood from stomach. Besides that, it also collects blood from lateral esophageals. It collects blood from lateral esophageals through anterior loops and ring vessels. It collects blood from lateral esophageals through anterior loops and ring vessels. Then among the transverse blood vessels, the important ones are anterior loops. Two pairs of anterior loops are present. They are present in 10th and 11th segment. The anterior loops carry blood from lateral esophageal to supraesophageal. They carry blood from lateral esophageal to supraesophageal. Then lateral hearts. 4 pairs of lateral hearts are present. They are present in 7th, 9th, 12th and 13th segment. They are present in 7th, 9th, 12th and 13th segment. They carry blood from dorsal blood vessel to ventral blood vessel. The lateral hearts of 12th and 13th are slightly bigger in size. Besides collecting blood from dorsal blood vessel, they also collect blood from supraesophageal and discharge the blood into ventral blood vessel. Then apart from this, there are blood glands. Three pairs of blood glands are present in fourth, fifth and sixth segment. One pair in each. Blood glands synthesize hemoglobin. Blood glands synthesize hemoglobin. Excretory system of Ferritima. Ferritima posthuma, three types of nephridia are present. The first one is septal nephridia. The septal nephridia are present from 15th segment to last segment. 15th segment to last segment. In 14 by 15th segment, about 20 to 40 septal nephridia are present. But from 15th segment onwards, 15th onwards, 80 to 100 septal nephridia are present in each segment. The septal nephridia are open type with a nephrostome and they are enteronephric. They are enteronephric because they open into alimentary canal through supraintestinal excretory canals. Besides excretion, septal nephridia are also meant for osmoregulation. Then number 2, pharyngeal nephridia. Tufts of pharyngeal nephridia are present in 4th, 5th and 6th segments. These pharyngeal nephridia of 6th segment open into buccal cavity, while the pharyngeal nephridia of 4th and 5th open into pharynx. The pharyngeal nephridia are also called tufted nephridia, or they are also known as peptonephridia. Tufted nephridia or peptonephridia. The pharyngeal nephridia are closed without a nephrostome and they are enteronephric. They are enteronephric. They also open into alimentary canal like septal nephridia. Then you have third one, integumentary nephridia. Integumentary nephridia are also called micronephridia. The integumentary nephridia are present from third segment to last segment. They are present from third segment to last segment. They are the smallest nephridia in earthworm. Per segment, 200 to 250 are present. But in clitellum, that is in 14th, 15th and 16th segments, 2000 to 2500 integumentary nephridia are present. That's why they are known as forest of nephridia. They are known as forest of nephridia. Then integumentary nephridia are closed and open type. They are closed and open type. They open to the exterior through nephridiopore. So they are exonephric and closed type. Closed they are referred to as because they don't have nephrostome. They are called exonephric or open type, that is they open to the exterior through nephridiopores, discharge nitrogenous waste into surroundings. Then Ferritima posthuma is basically ureotelic. Urea is the principal nitrogenous waste in the solid base. Reproductive system of Ferritima pudica. Now it is a bisexual or hermaphrodite. Now testis, two pairs of testes are present. They are present in 10th and 11th segments. First pair is present in 10th segment attached to septum of 9 by 10. Second pair is present in 11th segment attached to septum of 10 by 11. But testes are not naked, they are enclosed in testis sacs. They are enclosed in testis sacs. So testis sacs are one pair. First one lies in 10th segment, second one lies in 11th segment. Testis sac of 10th segment is small. The testis sac of 10th segment encloses one pair of testis, one pair of spermiducal funnels, one pair of testis and one pair of spermiducal funnels, while the testis sac of 11 segment encloses one pair of testis, one pair of spermiducal funnels and one pair of seminal vesicles. Since it encloses seminal vesicles, apart from testis and spermiducal funnels, it is slightly bigger than that of 10th one. The testis sacs are the modified coelomic epithelia. Then next you have seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles are also called septal pouches. Seminal vesicles are also called septal pouches. They are the modified septa. They are present in 11 segment and 12 segment. There are two pairs. First pair lies in testis sac of 11 segment. Second pair is naked. The seminal vesicles collect spermatogonia from testis sacs and bring about their maturation to form mature sperms. The next you have spermiducal funnels. Two pairs of spermiducal funnels are present. First pair lies in testis sac of 10th segment. Second pair lies in testis sac of 11th segment. The spermiducal funnels are also called ciliated rosettes. They collect mature sperms from testis sacs. And each spermiducal funnel continues as vas deferens. So if we take vasa differentia, there are two pairs of vasa differentia. Two of them run side by side on each side. They extend up to 18 segment. In 18 segment, the two vasa differentia unite with the prostatic duct, and all three of them are covered by a common sheath and open to the exterior through male genital pore. The two vasa differentia and one prostatic duct, all three of them get covered by a common sheath to form spermatico-prostatic duct, and all three of them open to the exterior through male genital pore. Then there is prostate gland. Prostate gland lies from 17th to 20th segment or 16th to 21st segment. The prostate gland secretes prostatic juice that helps in formation of spermatophores. It has got anterior non-glandular part, posterior glandular part. The glandular part secretes prostatic juice that helps in formation of spermatophores. In the female reproductive system part, you find a pair of ovaries. Ovaries are present in 12th segment. They are attached to septum of 11 by 12. Unlike testes, the ovaries synthesize mature ova, release the ova into the coelomic cavity of 12th segment. From the 12th segment, ova are collected by oviducal funnels. Ova are collected by oviducal funnels. Two oviducal funnels are present. They are ciliated. With the help of cilia, they collect ova from 13th segment. Okay, they collect ova from 13th segment. So the ovaries are present in 12th segment. They attach to septum of 11 by 12, and they release the ova into 12th segment. From the 12th segment, the ova are collected by oviducal funnels. The ova are collected by oviducal funnels. Each oviducal funnel gives rise to an oviduct. Both the oviducts unite to form a common oviduct. The common oviduct opens to exterior through female genital pore. So the female genital pore lies in 14th segment. Lies in 14th segment. Female genital pore lies in 14th segment. So ovaries are present in 12th segment. They are attached to septum of 11 by 12. Ovaries synthesize ova and discharge the ova into the coelomic cavity of 12th segment. From 12th segment, the ova are collected by oviducal funnels. Each oviducal funnel continues as an oviduct. Both the oviducts unite to form a common oviduct. Common oviduct opens to exterior through female genital pore that lies in 14th segment. Then apart from this, there are spermathecae, 4 pairs of spermathecae are present. They are present in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9 segments. Spermatical pores are present intersegmental 5 by 6, 6 by 7, 7 by 8 and 8 by 9. While spermathecae are present in 6, 7, 8 and 9 segments. Each spermatheca has a finger-like projection called diverticulum that stores sperms and a pear-shaped bag-like structure called ampulla that nourishes sperms. The finger-shaped structure is called diverticulum that stores sperms, while the pear-shaped bag-like structure called ampulla that stores sperms. The most important receptor of earthworm is the photoreceptor. The photoreceptors are present on the dorsal side. They are more in number towards anterior region and less towards the posterior region. Each photoreceptor has an L-shaped lens called phyosome. The L-shaped lens of the photoreceptor is called phyosome or optic organelle that helps in reflecting the light rays on neurofibrils. Apart from this, earthworm has buccal receptor which are confined to the buccal epithelium, which are chemo and olfactory in function, and tactile receptors are present all over the body. They are tactile in function. Earthworm exhibits limited power of regeneration. If it is cut off vertically, like this, it loses regeneration capacity. When it is cut off beyond 14th segment, when it is cut off transversely beyond 14th segment, the posterior part perishes, only the anterior part remains alive. When only 4 or 5 segments are cut off, when only 4 or 5 segments are cut off from the anterior region, both the segments remain alive. The anterior segment, which consists of hardly 4 or 5 segments, it regenerates the posterior part, and the posterior segment, which is there behind 4th or 5th segment, regenerates the anterior part. Now, the earthworm exhibits limited power of regeneration. When it is cut off vertically, both the pieces perish. It loses regeneration capacity. When it is cut off beyond 14th segment, only the anterior part remains alive to regenerate the posterior part, while the posterior part perishes. Only when 4 or 5 segments are cut off from the anteriormost part, both the parts remain alive. The anterior part regenerates the posterior part, and the posterior one, which is there behind 5th segment, regenerates the anterior 4 or 5 segments. Like that, it exhibits regeneration capacity, and the gonads, that is testis and ovary, seem to have a role in regeneration process.